All right, you guys, so much is happening in the market today. Boy, oh boy. There's gas shortages in Europe and the interest rates keep going up. What is going to happen to the prices of homes, you guys? So home prices are going to continue to be going down, okay? Going down by quite a bit. Remember, the average rule is 1% up, means the home prices are going to drop by 10%. But here's the complicated part. It's not all homes across the country. It's not even. So those entry-level homes will be, like, it'll fare much, much better than those large homes. So if you're in a large home, you got to be thinking about selling it. If you're in the Greater Toronto area, of course, we can help you. I'm a real estate broker. We have a whole team here that specializes in helping you sell your homes faster and for more money. So you guys reach out to me anytime you want. Contact at ruffteamrealty.com. But those larger homes are the homes that are going to be getting hurt. And those smaller homes are going to be the ones that are better. Now, it always depends on the areas, right? But if we look around the market right now, there's a lot of people who are telling you that you should be buying now, buy now, buy now. It's the best time to buy. I don't think it's the best time to buy. You should be holding off, you guys. I would be thinking about, are they asking me for a commission or do they have my best interests at heart? Remember, real estate agents, if you are signed with a real estate agent, have a fiduciary duty to you, which means that you have to have your best interests at heart. But if you are not signed with them, they can say whatever they want, pretty much. Isn't it funny that even financial advisors don't have to do that? They don't have to have fiduciary duty, so they can sell you whatever they want at the highest commission. They have nothing to do with your best case scenario. Was that a squirrel in the back? Yeah, it was. So you guys, we have to think about that type of stuff. We have to think about, are you going to be safe or are you not going to be safe? This is Queens Quay Terminal. Pretty famous building down here. This is where Vince Carter was. So you guys, we're going to be writing some books. We have 2 books on the plate right now that we're working on, and we're working on an inflation account. So this is how to profit from inflation over the next couple of years. We're going to be developing a course. If you want any of those details, sign up to the waitlist below. It's going to be done within about 1 month from now. So very, very excited. Our first couple of books, first courses are going to be coming out. We're going to be making a whole bunch of them. So it's going to be jam-packed with everything that I've learned over the past 20 years. So I'm excited to share it all with you guys. Just go down below into the link, join the wait list. So if we look at what's happening in Europe right now, Europe is having a massive energy squeeze. So the gas, for natural gas is going to be in massive shortage. Remember, natural gas is like half of the CO2 output than coal. So that's a big step in the right direction. Natural gas is getting squeezed everywhere, but the US has a lot of natural gas. Europe has none. So industry is going to be leaving China because of politics. It's going to be leaving Europe because of fuel, which is a good windfall for the United States. And for us in Canada, it's going to do well. But the bigger problem for everybody is that we're very intertwined through globalism. Because we're intertwined, all of the currencies are kind of like working in lockstep with each other. The currency crisis that we're going to be running into is going to be huge. This is the problem with everybody, is that we have so much debt. Remember, debt to GDP is creeping up for most of the countries around 130%. And if you cross 130%, there's no coming back. That means you can't pay the minimum payment on your bills. So just take that down to like one person. Imagine you make $50,000 a year and you owe $75,000 in debt. If you have very expensive food, very expensive gas, very expensive everything, there's no way you could ever pay that back. So what happens? Massive default. But it's only default for the countries that don't have a money printer and don't owe their debt in their own denominations. So if the United States, how can they ever go bankrupt if they can print as much as they want? So that means huge inflation, huge inflation. You're going to see inflation like you've never seen before in North America in our lifetimes anyway. It's going to go crazy. So this all comes down to housing. How are you going to play housing? Housing is going to continue to be in the headlines for a long, long time because everything works off of interest rates. It's a giant lever that the government can bend back and forth and play with the market however they want. So they're fixing the way it is right now. Everybody with a mortgage has a potential to go into a foreclosure. you have to be able to watch those interest rates and what's going to be happening. Remember, everyone thinks that the shock happens immediately because the stock market will get affected the day that they announce it. But the true effects, the real effects, take up to 2 years to show up in the market. So it's the lasting effect that really hurts. So just think of this. If you took a lot of alcohol one night and partied, bad hangover the next morning, okay, you can get over that, right? But what happens if you were drinking heavily hangover every day for many years? The effects of that are going to be much, much greater on you. This is the waterfront. This is my favorite pier. Though you can take those boats over to the Toronto Island. You can take those boats as well over to the island. Pretty cool. It's quite quiet here today, actually. You guys can make it down here. Beautiful skies today. What great weather. So this is right by the CN Tower. This is normally where they have water in the summer for paddle boats, but it's been closed ever since 2020. So when it comes to your house, you gotta be thinking about getting into entry-level homes. So what would I do if I had like a $3 million home? I would be thinking about selling that $3 million home and buying some really smaller homes just to protect your wealth. Remember, every single crisis that there ever has been, it's the entry-level homes. But here is another weird thing. As interest rates go up, rent goes up. How is that possible, David? So if interest rates go up, David, you always say that prices come down. That's right. But then all these people can't buy a home anymore. Can't buy your first home. In addition, all those people that can't buy their first home, there's gonna be a lot of people going to foreclosure. What happens to them? They all have to find a place to rent. And like you always know, everything is supply and demand. So as demand is going up for rentals, so do the prices. So every time you see that interest rate go up, be thinking to yourself, oh man, my rental prices are gonna be going up. So there's a lot of places that have no rent control. And so if you have no rent control, those prices could go really, really high. Remember, the idea of supply and demand has never changed through history. Only since 2008 did we start on this crazy experiment of modern monetary theory. They actually call it MMT. You might have heard that, quantitative easing. Funny that right in the name it says theory. The theory has been wrong forever. There's this economist called Milton Keynes. I think he was from mid-1800s or so. He was like, listen guys, this is the plan. This is the plan. There's the tower again. These are the famous water club ones. He goes, this is the plan. This is the plan. I want you to spend every last dollar you can. Don't save anything. Put 100% of the dollars into the economy and then you can grow. Does it sound American to you? It sounds like a very American idea, right? Consumption, and that will spur the economy on, to keep it growing. But is that the way to go? For all of time, people have said, save up. Winter is coming, you know? Store up your food. It just blows my mind that we even got to this point. How did we get here? Do we ever ask that? Spend everything and have nothing for a rainy day. That is an award-winning economist. Kind of crazy to me. The other side is called Austrian economics, and to me, that just makes sense. It's a supply issue. So if we have 100 people outside and they all need houses, I need to build 100 houses. The other idea of what they're doing now is they're going to raise the prices so high that they're going to bankrupt 100 people, put them on the street so that they can put the 100 people into the homes that they just lost. I mean, the idea of that is just absolutely crazy to me. I don't think it should even be legal, to be honest. What do you guys think? Do you think that's normal? At the end of the day, you're still going to have 100 people that are homeless. So this goes to show you, you know, you need to have your strategies on point when you're going to be doing this type of maneuvering through this market. So there are many different strategies that we're going to be doing in the courses and the books. If you are so inclined to educate yourself and learn, then you could become financially free in not too long, you know. And here's the best part. Is through a recession, it's the best time to learn this stuff because you can really take advantage of it all. I think now is the best time to be learning. So I continue to read like a book a week. I try to read 3-4 hours a day, but hopefully you can do that as well. My courses are going to be helping you narrow that learning curve, you know, so it's not going to take you months and months and months to learn. Years, for example, you could probably learn it in about 20 to 30 hours. Everything is about application as well. If you don't apply what you learn, then it's never going to work. It has to be read a book, apply it, read a book, apply it. That's what you have to do. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. But we get comments all the time that people will say, well, Dave, you know, 3 years ago, that's not what you said. Like, yeah, I know. There was a war now. Now that the war has happened, natural gas has to be looked at differently. Gas has to be looked at differently. So if you get into our courses, what we're going to be doing is we're going to continually be adding new chapters and new lectures to it. And so you get lifetime membership to them. All right, you guys, I wish you the very, very best. If you have any questions, you know, always reach out to me, Ruff Team Realty, or you can reach out, email, contact@ruffteamrealty.com. We're always there. And I'm very curious to know what you think and what your plans are to get through this recession. It's going to be a bad one, unfortunately. I never thought, you never know what's going to come. You know, we just lost our queen, and it really bothered me. It really, really bothered me. But here's the thing is she's 96, and I just don't want it to happen. I didn't want it to happen, so it was a surprise to me. But really, was it a surprise? She's 96. So the same as with the economy right now. So I never wanted it to happen. I never thought a war would happen. But if you stand back from it, you're like, I know it's going to happen. It's bound to happen, right? So I want you to be careful. Please be safe. Please think about your next moves. And if you want to come with me on that journey, you know, the books and courses will help you out a lot. Promise, guaranteed. All right, you guys, I hope that you have a fantastic day. I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you like that video, you might like this one and maybe something like that.